Okay, so 2nd Street. I'm going to go along there, same as what I did last year, and actually we'll go this one because this is near.
So that's where the railway tanks.
Yeah, there's a whole heap.
So they had railways here.
Oh, absolutely. I was driving along one section thinking to myself, it was just
what was there?
The ruts. Well, it was.
So
that was the hospital. So Farina was first served by Dr. Hoche, H-O-C-H-E, for 6 months in 1893. Thereafter, by a number of travelling doctors and nursing sisters. In 1925, Sydney Kidman declared the building was not suitable for a hospital, too hot. He bought the vacant Transcontinental Hotel and donated to the District Training Nursing Society, and it was in operation until 1945. So where we were over in the Transcontinental Hotel, so that was actually a nursing quarters.
Got turned into a hospital.
And we've got another spot here. There's truckloads, so we just go around and follow them, and it'll give you all the information. So, this one here. Okay, so this is where St. Bridget's Catholic Church. I won't actually read everything, it's quite large. 1897, £150, 30 by 25 by 12 feet high. The exterior was iron roof and timber walls. The building was sold at auction 24th June 1994 and relocated, of all places, because I've seen this building, to Goolwa Beach, where the interior was previously restored and remodeled for holiday accommodation. And in 2010 it was being used as a real estate office. Yeah, I've seen it. And I'm thinking to myself, where have I seen that before? So this is a sort of weird and wonderful
It's
things.
sad that it got relocated.
Yeah, I'll go back.
I suppose in the end, if they had the money, they'd build a model of it.
Yeah, $300. So you see how much?
You can't even see where it was built.
Oh, it's just out here. Yeah. You can see a little bit of foundation stone and stuff like that, but not much. And so I spent a day around here and found some wonderful spots. I'm going to take you to the Farina cricket ground. That's quite interesting. You'd almost think that's a tent over there. Or a lid off of something.
Bit of tin.
Now I'm hoping that nobody's cut this tree down. And we'll be driving on the railway track, or what is left of it. Owned by TAFE, they're by employers. That's the problem.
What was that there?
Well, that's a railway trolley. We'll drop back and see that, huh?
There's a toilet.
Yeah.
That would have been the railway masters.
Yeah, that would have been one of the stations. So this is where I took the picture of these things, and then I found a blooming tree, and it's here. Praise God.
Another building way out there.
Yeah, there is. That's the building that we stopped at, heading to the road back to Oxby Downs. And we actually stopped up here, and that's what we thought was Farina. And here's the tree. Have a look at it. And this is actually, see these bumps that we're going over?
Yeah.
They're actually, that's perfect. Have a look at that tree. What a beauty. There. So, this is our first black and white for the trip.
No one around?
No. No one goes along here because there's, as far as they're concerned, there's Farina Station.
Yeah.
So it's all fallen down. Have a look there. There's a picture of it.
It's sad, really, that all these buildings have fallen down.
Well, I mean, that was the culture.
Just weather.
All right, we can. So, we've got a couple of the sheep and cattle trucks that have been restored, and I'll do a little bit of a U-turn around the area, bit of a work shed, and they've actually done a really nice job of the other loading ramp. It's actually a twin-story one, so it actually has an upper and lower, and you can just see the double part of it, and designed. So this one's for sheep, but there's also another one made for cattle, and because you wouldn't fit cattle through there, they're too tall, and the picture they've actually got is of a cattle one that seems to be much larger, and the rails are just straight through. Not supposed to drive here, but I want to use the GoPro as the recording device, and so you can see some road digging equipment, and then we can see a close-up of the work they've done there. Lovely timber work. Sheep can't slip as they're going up, so they've got crossboards over, and then you can see the top deck and the lower deck, and the ends open up, so they back up and then basically open them up or lower them down, and then the sheep can actually come straight out at the abattoirs, I assume. Interesting. It's a really interesting setup and enterprise here. I saw a picture of the water course here before all this was started, and it was beautiful. And I saw a picture of what it was like just before they abandoned the site, and it looks terrible, really bad, just overutilized, you know, man's usual thing, make as much money as we can and don't worry about the earth. So today we're all concerned about restoration of the place, but I can tell you that was anything from the minds of the people that were putting this up together. So Kidman and his brain, really, when you think of it, would buy all the cattle that was was being killed in the droughts, and then he'd drive them south, and they'd eat up and fatten up on the side of the roads as they travelled down, and ultimately they would then end up having a saleable head of cattle. And so many years later, one of the jobs I worked on was the home for Sidney Kidman's daughters, which ironically none of them married, and had this amazing house. It was huge, and I can't remember how many daughters there were, but it was just quite an amazing house just off of McGill Road, and the name will come to me. It's quite a few years since I've worked there. So over in the far distance you can see some green safety jackets there, and they're going to be putting a locomotive up there in the shed and the cover, and So over here you can see the a couple of railway tenders. Okay, and it's interesting, I noticed that they've actually started to put posts around the rail, the tracks, and I reckon they'll end up putting wire along here, like a Cunalda, you know how that was. So this building would not take much to make it habitable. Obviously a floor, a window, and a roof. It's only a very small roof, but the structure is really good. Hardly anything wrong with the structure at all. Really straight, beautiful brick quoins, very chimney. There's nothing that is actually structurally for the brickwork that is going to make it fall down. So obviously they've had there looks like a bit of stonework down the bottom here has been restored, and so that would be one that would be worth putting an old-fashioned roof on, not a colorbond roof. But whether they ever do that or not, I don't know. Okay, so over here is no road, but you can see the other rail line over on the left, and the water tender, whatever it's called, and all the water comes from this swap and grate tank here, and these are all along. At Strathalbyn there's one. There's quite a few, and as we go along the old Gan Railway, we will actually be looking at a few of those and stopping off. I expected to actually see Angari tea on it or something like that. I know that there's a couple in Adelaide that had that, but that was quite some years ago. Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful day.
I don't know whose that is.
What's
have a
that?
look up here.
Yeah, we can stop up and have a look. Yeah. I couldn't take a picture back there last time because there were so many people here. It was quite unique.
What was that one?
Oh, that's gives you a bit of a rundown of the area. Do you want to have a look? Might as well. Okay, all for now. So there's a myriad of attractions at Farina, and the volunteers seem to be planning every year for different areas, different places, and you can just see the different tracks. So as long as you drive moderately, I think you're pretty safe. We went across to there. There we go. This is the cricket. Yeah, that's cold. You wait till you see the surface. It's actually a bit disappointing for me because it doesn't have the it was like not any grass, nothing, and it's just rocks. I mean, if you hit the ball out there, you'd if you didn't have your eyes open, you wouldn't be able to find it.
Well, how about if you fell over like they do nowadays?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, well, I don't think anyone would doing that here. It's amazing. Got a seat out here.
That's been rebuilt, I think.
Oh, yeah. That's a beauty. It's an absolute classic. So you'd see the field. Now over there, I'm going to go around here in a circle. There's actually a river area.
Farina Bakery open till 4 p.m. Should do. Thank God for that.
We're going to be to buy everything.
They're sold out. I remember I said they had 7 girls.
Yeah.
We are up there.
Oh, I'd say so. Yeah. Yeah.
May not be the fire one, they might have the hot water on for them.
So, got no power.
You have to walk back.
Yeah. The bakery